Picture this scenario. You order pizza on a Friday night, and the delivery guy shows up in a beat-up Honda Civic that's seen better days, wearing a grease-stained uniform that suggests he's been working non-stop, counting crumpled dollar bills. For your change with hands that clearly show the wear and tear of manual labor. He looks completely exhausted, probably working multiple jobs just to survive and pay basic bills, right? Wrong. Dead wrong. What if I told you that same pizza delivery guy secretly owns 20 rental properties worth over $3 million and collects more in monthly rent than most successful corporate executives make in an entire year? Sounds absolutely impossible? That's exactly what property expert Ryan Thompson thought when he first encountered Miguel Santos, a 34-year-old pizza delivery driver who seemed like just another hard-working guy desperately trying to make ends meet in an expensive economy. But when Ryan accidentally discovered Miguel's shocking secret during what started as a routine property investigation in downtown Phoenix, everything he thought he knew about wealth, success, financial status, and judging people by their appearances was completely and utterly shattered beyond recognition. Miguel wasn't just delivering pizza to barely pay rent on some tiny apartment. He was actually collecting rent checks from 20 different tenants every single month while maintaining the absolutely perfect disguise of someone struggling financially and living paycheck to paycheck. The truth about Miguel's hidden real estate empire is so mind-blowing and reality-defying that Ryan questioned everything he thought he understood about wealth building and financial success. How does someone build a multi-million-dollar property portfolio while appearing to struggle financially every single day? How does a pizza delivery guy quietly and methodically assemble one of the most impressive rental businesses in the entire city without anyone suspecting? And why would someone with that kind of massive wealth choose to keep delivering pizza every single night, maintaining an exhausting schedule that serves no apparent financial purpose? The answers will completely destroy every assumption you've ever made about wealth, success, financial independence, and the incredible power of staying invisible while building extraordinary riches. Miguel's incredible story proves beyond any doubt that the biggest real estate fortunes aren't owned by people wearing expensive suits and driving luxury cars to impress others. They're owned by ordinary people who deliberately stay under the radar and focus on building real assets instead of showing off with expensive liabilities. This isn't just about hidden wealth. This is about discovering a complete system that allows someone to build incredible financial success while everyone around them assumes they're barely getting by and struggling to survive day after day. Curious? Stay right here because what Ryan discovers next will completely shatter your assumptions about wealth. Ryan Thompson has spent 15 years investigating real estate deals and uncovering hidden wealth stories that most people would never believe. But nothing in his extensive experience prepared him for what happened during a routine property evaluation in downtown Phoenix on an ordinary Tuesday evening. As a former banker who transformed himself into a property expert and wealth investigator, Ryan thought he had seen every conceivable type of real estate investor imaginable, from aggressive house flippers who move properties quickly for profit, to silent commercial moguls who quietly build massive portfolios without public attention. But Miguel Santos would prove that the most successful and sophisticated investors are often the ones nobody suspects, the people who deliberately maintain ordinary appearances while building extraordinary wealth behind the scenes. It all started on that Tuesday evening when Ryan was conducting a comprehensive neighborhood analysis for a potential commercial investment opportunity that required detailed understanding of local rental markets and property values. He was walking through a modest apartment complex, carefully taking notes about property conditions, rental potential, market comparables, and neighborhood characteristics, when a severely battered Honda Civic with multiple dents and rust spots pulled into the parking lot with an engine that sounded like it might quit at any moment. Out stepped Miguel, wearing a wrinkled Pizza Palace uniform that had clearly seen countless shifts, carrying 3 large insulated delivery bags that looked heavy and displaying the kind of exhaustion that comes from working long hours at physically demanding jobs. Ryan watched with casual interest as Miguel knocked on various apartment doors throughout the complex, delivering pizza orders with a genuinely friendly smile despite his obvious fatigue and the late hour. Nothing particularly unusual about the scene, just another hard-working delivery driver trying to earn some decent tips from customers who might or might not appreciate his effort and dedication. But something specific caught Ryan's attention and triggered his investigative instincts that had been developed through years of uncovering hidden financial situations. As Miguel walked between different apartments, he seemed to know the complex layout unusually well for a delivery driver. He moved through the property like someone intimately familiar with every corner, every shortcut, every entrance, and every potential obstacle. Most delivery drivers constantly check apartment numbers on their phones or written orders, frequently getting lost or confused in unfamiliar complexes, but Miguel navigated the property with the confidence of someone who had been there countless times before. Curiosity sparked, Ryan decided to observe longer and see what else might seem unusual about this particular delivery. Miguel finished his scheduled deliveries efficiently and professionally, but instead of immediately leaving to continue his route like most drivers would, he walked directly to the property management office and casually pulled out a set of keys from his uniform pocket. Ryan's investigative instincts immediately kicked into high gear. Why would a pizza delivery guy have keys to an apartment complex office? Miguel unlocked the office door with practiced ease and stepped inside, turning on lights and settling behind the main desk like he belonged there and had every right to access the space. Through the large office window, Ryan watched in amazement as Miguel began reviewing paperwork, checking computer screens with obvious familiarity, and making phone calls with the confidence and authority of someone clearly in charge of operations. This made absolutely no sense, based on Miguel's appearance and apparent financial situation. Ryan's mind raced with increasingly complex questions. Was Miguel moonlighting as a property manager during certain hours? Did he work for the apartment complex during the day and deliver pizza at night to supplement his income? But the way Miguel handled the office space and equipment suggested something much deeper and more significant, something that absolutely didn't match his exhausted delivery driver appearance and apparent financial struggles. Determined to understand exactly what he was witnessing, Ryan decided to order pizza himself, specifically requesting Miguel as his delivery driver to create an opportunity for conversation. When Miguel arrived at Ryan's hotel room, Ryan struck up what seemed like a casual conversation about work, life in Phoenix, and the challenges of making ends meet in today's economy. Miguel talked extensively about long hours, demanding customers, and the constant challenge of earning enough delivery tips to cover basic living expenses. Everything about his story, body language, and detailed responses screamed genuine financial struggle. Yet Ryan couldn't shake the vivid memory of Miguel confidently managing that apartment complex office like he owned the place. Mind blown already? Hit that subscribe button immediately, because Ryan's discoveries only get more incredible from here. The next morning, Ryan returned to the apartment complex with a carefully planned strategy designed to uncover the truth about Miguel's mysterious connection to the property. He posed as a potential renter, genuinely interested in leasing an apartment, and requested a comprehensive tour from the property management office to see available units and learn about lease terms. When he knocked on the management office door at precisely 9 in the morning, it was Miguel who answered, but this time, he wasn't wearing the familiar pizza delivery uniform that had defined their previous encounters. Miguel wore clean khakis and a professional polo shirt, introduced himself confidently as the property manager, and offered to personally show Ryan all available units while discussing rental rates and lease options. No recognition whatsoever, no acknowledgement of their previous encounter the night before. Just completely professional property management service, delivered with expertise and confidence. Ryan played along perfectly, pretending to be a regular prospective tenant, while his mind absolutely exploded with confusion and disbelief about what was happening. The same exact man who had delivered pizza with exhausted desperation and apparent financial struggle just 12 hours earlier was now confidently discussing lease terms, rental rates, property amenities, and management policies with the kind of detailed knowledge that only comes from genuine ownership experience or extensive management training. Miguel toured Ryan through multiple apartments, explaining features and benefits, with sophisticated understanding of property values, market conditions, and tenant needs that demonstrated far more expertise than a typical property manager would possess. But something still felt fundamentally wrong about Miguel's explanation of his role at the property and his relationship with the ownership structure. When Ryan asked specific and pointed questions about ownership details and overall management structure, Miguel provided vague answers that strongly suggested he was much more than just an employee following someone else's directions. Ryan's extensive banking background had taught him to recognize evasion patterns and deliberate misdirection, and Miguel was definitely hiding something extremely significant about his true relationship to the property. Determined to uncover the complete truth regardless of how long it took, Ryan spent the following week conducting discreet but thorough research on the apartment complex ownership records through public databases and county property information systems. What he discovered in the official county property database completely shattered his understanding of reality and challenged everything he thought he knew about wealth, success, and financial appearances. The apartment complex wasn't owned by some faceless corporation, wealthy investor group, or traditional property management company, as Ryan had initially assumed. According to detailed official records that couldn't be faked or manipulated, the property was owned entirely by Santos Property Holdings, and the primary owner clearly listed in legal documents was Miguel Santos himself. The exact same Miguel Santos who delivered pizza in that beat-up Honda Civic while claiming to struggle financially and worry about making ends meet with delivery tips. But that shocking discovery was just the beginning of Ryan's investigation into what would become the most incredible hidden wealth story he had ever encountered in 15 years of professional research. Further investigation through multiple property databases revealed that Santos Property Holdings owned not just one apartment complex, but multiple rental properties strategically located throughout Phoenix and surrounding areas. Miguel, personally, owned a 12-unit apartment building in a rapidly gentrifying neighborhood, a 6-unit duplex complex near downtown, 2 separate 4-plex buildings in emerging markets, and several single-family rental homes in stable residential areas. The properties were spread across different zip codes, different neighborhoods, and different price points, creating a diversified portfolio that generated income from various market segments. In total, Miguel controlled exactly 20 rental units, generating an estimated monthly income of over $28,000 before expenses, maintenance, and taxes. Ryan carefully calculated that Miguel's annual rental income exceeded $330,000, not even counting potential appreciation value of his diversified real estate portfolio, worth approximately $3.2 million, based on current market conditions. Yet every single night, without exception, Miguel continued delivering pizza, maintaining the absolutely perfect disguise of financial struggle while secretly operating one of the most successful and sophisticated rental businesses in the entire Phoenix area. Ryan desperately needed to understand how this incredible situation was possible. How does someone accumulate that kind of massive wealth while appearing completely broke? Why would a multimillionaire choose to deliver pizza and maintain an exhausting schedule? And how had Miguel managed to keep this extraordinary secret completely hidden from everyone around him, including family, friends, and business associates? The answers would reveal a wealth-building strategy so brilliant and counterintuitive that Ryan questioned everything he thought he knew about building financial success and achieving true independence. Miguel had discovered what Robert Kiyosaki teaches about assets versus liabilities and the importance of cash flow, but had taken those concepts to an extreme level of stealth wealth building that most people would never consider. Instead of displaying success through expensive cars, luxury homes, and flashy lifestyle choices that impress others but drain resources, Miguel invested every possible dollar into income-producing real estate while maintaining a humble appearance that kept him completely under the radar and away from unwanted attention. His pizza delivery job served multiple strategic purposes that went far beyond just earning extra income for additional investments. It provided perfect cover for his extensive real estate activities, allowed him to scout different neighborhoods for potential property investment opportunities, gave him legitimate access to various areas of the city at different times, and maintained the crucial appearance of financial struggle that prevented friends and family from asking for money or becoming suspicious of his true wealth level. The job also provided cash flow to cover immediate living expenses without touching rental income, created tax advantages through business deductions, and established relationships with people in different neighborhoods who might know about off-market properties. Miguel had essentially created a sophisticated double life, where his carefully maintained public persona suggested genuine financial hardship, while his private reality involved running a complex real estate business that generated wealth most people only dream about achieving. The strategy was so effective and convincing that even experienced property experts like Ryan were completely fooled by Miguel's deliberately maintained appearance of struggle and financial concern. Reality completely shattered. Demolish that like button and stay locked in, because the most incredible part is still coming. When Ryan finally confronted Miguel about his shocking discoveries and demanded honest explanations, the truth that emerged was even more incredible and mind-bending than the hidden wealth itself had been. Miguel wasn't just a secret real estate mogul hiding his success. He was actually a former corporate executive who had deliberately chosen financial invisibility as his carefully planned path to extraordinary wealth and complete freedom. 8 years earlier, Miguel had been a highly successful marketing director at a Fortune 500 company, earning a substantial six-figure salary and living the typical corporate lifestyle, complete with expensive car payments, luxury apartment rent, high-end entertainment expenses, and all the status symbols that corporate success supposedly requires. But a devastating financial crisis nearly destroyed his entire life when the company underwent massive downsizing and eliminated his position along with hundreds of others. Facing potential bankruptcy, despite his previous impressive income, Miguel experienced what he now calls his complete wealth awakening moment that changed everything. He realized that his impressive salary had actually prevented him from building real wealth because he had been focused on looking successful and impressing others instead of becoming truly wealthy and financially independent. Drawing direct inspiration from Robert Kiyosaki's fundamental principles about assets versus liabilities and the critical importance of cash flow over income, Miguel developed a radical strategy that would completely transform his financial future forever. Instead of desperately searching for another high-paying corporate job to maintain his previous lifestyle, Miguel deliberately took a pizza delivery position and moved to the cheapest apartment he could find in a safe area. Every single dollar he earned delivering pizza, plus his remaining savings from his corporate career, went directly into purchasing rental properties using creative financing strategies. His first investment was a distressed duplex that he bought for $68,000 with seller financing that required minimal money down. While former colleagues assumed he had hit absolute rock bottom and felt sorry for his apparent failure, Miguel was actually implementing a sophisticated wealth-building strategy that would make him completely financially independent within 8 years. The pizza delivery job provided multiple unexpected advantages that actually accelerated his real estate investing success beyond what a corporate job could have achieved. His humble appearance made property sellers much more willing to negotiate favorable terms because they didn't perceive him as a threatening investor trying to take advantage. His flexible delivery schedule allowed him to visit properties, meet with motivated sellers, and handle maintenance issues during normal business hours when others were stuck in offices. His modest reported income actually helped with financing because lenders viewed him as a low-risk borrower for owner-occupied properties that he could house hack. Most importantly, his apparent financial struggle kept friends, family, and acquaintances from constantly asking for loans or becoming suspicious of his growing wealth and success. Miguel systematically reinvested every dollar of rental income into acquiring additional properties, using creative financing strategies, seller financing, equity partnerships, and house hacking techniques to expand his portfolio without traditional bank loans that require substantial capital. His secret weapon was leveraging other people's automatic assumptions about his financial situation to negotiate better deals and maintain complete privacy about his growing success. By year 3, Miguel owned 8 rental units, generating substantial monthly cash flow. By year 5, he controlled 15 properties across different neighborhoods. By year 8, his portfolio had grown to 20 units, generating enough passive income to replace his former corporate salary multiple times over with true financial freedom. Yet Miguel continued delivering pizza because the disguise had become so incredibly effective that nobody questioned his wealth-building activities or suspected his true financial situation. Property sellers offered him better deals because they assumed he needed help and wasn't a serious investor threat. Contractors provided honest pricing because they didn't see him as a wealthy investor trying to maximize profits at their expense. Even family members respected his apparent financial struggles and didn't pressure him for money or investment advice that might expose his sophisticated strategy. Miguel had discovered that appearing poor while systematically building wealth provided incredible advantages that displaying success could never match in real estate investing. His story proves that the most powerful wealth-building strategy isn't earning more money to spend on impressive things. It's controlling expenses while maximizing investments in assets that generate passive income. And sometimes the best way to build extraordinary wealth is to make sure nobody knows you're doing it until you're completely financially free. But the most eye-opening, reality-changing lesson that will transform how you see wealth forever is what I'm about to share. Miguel's incredible story teaches us that wealth isn't about what you drive or where you live. It's about what you own that generates income while you sleep. The biggest mistake most people make is confusing looking wealthy with being wealthy. And Miguel proved that sometimes the richest person in the room is the one nobody suspects. Speaking of incredible discoveries, next week I'm sharing the mind-blowing story of Frank Morrison, a man who appeared homeless on the streets of Seattle, but was actually a former real estate mogul who owned over 50 properties worth $12 million. You won't believe how Ryan uncovered this impossible truth and why Frank chose to live on the streets despite his massive wealth. If Miguel's story amazed you, Frank's story will completely redefine everything you think you know about wealth, success, and the power of hiding in plain sight. But I need your help to keep bringing you these incredible real estate discovery stories that prove extraordinary opportunities surround us every day. First, crush that subscribe button right now, because these wealth discovery stories get more shocking with every episode, and subscribing ensures you never miss these life-changing revelations about hidden fortunes and secret strategies. Second, annihilate that notification bell so you're instantly alerted when I upload Frank's impossible homeless millionaire story next week, plus all the other incredible discoveries I'm constantly uncovering about ordinary people with extraordinary wealth. Third, absolutely demolish that like button if Miguel's story opened your eyes to the power of stealth wealth building, because your likes help these videos reach other people who need to understand that building wealth isn't about impressing others, it's about consistently investing in assets that generate passive income. Fourth, share this video with anyone who's ever judged someone by their appearance or assumed that wealth always looks wealthy, because Miguel's story proves that the most successful investors are often the ones nobody suspects, and your friends need to hear this incredible truth about hidden real estate fortunes. Finally, support this channel by engaging with these videos, leaving comments about your own experiences with hidden wealth or surprising discoveries, and helping me spread the message that real estate opportunities and wealth-building strategies are everywhere if you know how to recognize them. Remember, million-dollar real estate opportunities surround you every day. Open your eyes